Yeah. You don't have to be on YouTube. You're already here. But we are live on YouTube. So, hello YouTube. He- ah, okay. So, um, welcome. Maggie, I hear my YouTube voice through your thing. Welcome, wonderful people. We have some Mercury retrograde problems here, but we will be very good very soon. Um, I'm here to answer all of your questions. I'm gonna open different records. I am very excited for this. I have a very interesting day. Lots of healing, lots of expansion in combination with levels of tiredness, and yeah, it's been very interesting to navigate all of this. But I really like the expansion, and I actually also really like to take naps. So they're good in both cases. They're quite good. But I want to welcome you. Like the Sacred Alignment members here have priority to the Q&A, and I can open their personal records. And if there are not any questions in the Zoom room, I would love to answer all the questions that you might have on YouTube. So put them in the chat. I already see Maggie and Emma are in the chat. Thank you for being in the chat. Yeah, put your questions in the chat if you have them. Anybody here in the Sacred Alignment Academy, if you have a question, then put them. Let me know. You have priority in the queue. I'm looking forward to this. You know, sometimes we do these Q&As just with the Sacred Alignment Academy, and the last, like I've seen, it's more than a month that we did a Q&A here on YouTube, and I actually made a video about why I was not so active anymore on YouTube. But I'm ready to change that. Ready to change that. Because I just needed to go through a whole lot of inner shifts and processes. And that was really nice, actually. That was not at all a bad period, especially because I had the perspective of the Akashic records next to me. So if my mind started worrying, which of course the mind can be very good in worrying, I just opened the records and I said, okay, what's really going on here? And they were always able to give me the higher perspective. So now I see that they were preparing me for a whole nother level of showing up and sharing, and really having an energy, I would love to say a beautiful, consistent, grounded energy that will just produce a whole lot of YouTube content as a byproduct, instead of me kind of, oh, I have to show up for YouTube and making YouTube my master, right? That's not how it's supposed to be, but that's the trap that creators can fall into. And I'm very grateful to see these traps quite early and handle them quite early while I'm still a very small channel, and I'm really looking forward to grow it bigger. At the same time, I want to grow it from a place of complete authenticity and connection with the divine, and that requires sometimes aligning myself and course correcting myself. So I'm very grateful for you being with me. Octavia just shared that she has a question, but it's not for the public. That's all right. We might have a private extension of our session, if that's all right. Maybe we can do an hour on YouTube and then a private extension for you, because I would love to be of service to you. But I have also already some beautiful questions in the chat. Emma says it's always Mercury retrograde. Yeah, that's sometimes how it feels. That's so funny. So Kika Miller, that's a very cool name, has a question, and she says, I recently heard the term earth seed and feel it fits me. Do you have more info about what this might mean? I love that question. And I'm going to ask which records I need to open to properly answer your question. All right. Okay. I will open the records of humankind to answer that question for you. Let me make sure my incense is not in my hands while I do that. I love that question. I never heard about earth seeds before, so I honestly don't know what it means. So let's see what they have to say. But I'm blanking on it. So this is gonna be really nice. Let's see what earth seed means. I have no clue. Okay. Thank you, dear records. Let me open the records of humankind. With love and light, I hereby open the Akashic records of humankind. Using the sacred alignment prayer. They immediately ask me to grab a stone. I will grab this pyramid. All right, dear records. What can you shine a light on the concept of an earth seed? What does that mean? What does that name mean? And what is that? We are in gratitude to this question. We would love to shine a light on this. It's a beautiful term that represents a high level of awareness from a soul that actually has lived a lot of lives, or maybe all of its lives, on earth. With lives, we mean incarnations in which your soul embodies a physical third dimensional shape. And if you are an earth seed, you are not only just someone who has frequently been on earth, you are somebody greatly connected with earth, but also your soul has spent a lot of spiritual development here. And in so doing, the wisdom that you are able to bring to this earth also can be seeded in this lifetime. It is a play on the more familiar term starseed, in which the same phenomena is happening, but in this case, that soul has been more frequented in incarnation in other star clusters. And these star clusters can, for example, be Sirius, it can be Pleiades, it can be Arcturus, it can be Orion or Andromedan. There have been many star clusters also still undiscovered by your telescopes. Your scientists believe that they see quite a lot of the universe, but in our understanding, humanity is still quite blind looking at the stars and also doesn't have all the permission to look into the full scape of your universe, of your cosmos. Not even your own galaxy is fully seen right now. And the galaxy is only a very small part of the bigger cosmos it is based in. But that's another topic. It just means when you are a starseed that you are an experienced soul and you are bringing here some wisdom from the stars onto planet Earth. An earth seed is here to bring wisdom that is actually rooted in a lot of experience on earth. And this also, in most cases, includes the wisdom of the indigenous cultures. Think of the ancient tribes that were deeply connected with the plant kingdoms and animal kingdoms. You see that over the millennia, there have been many and still are some very beautifully, highly spiritually evolved tribes on your planet. An earth seed has the ability to tap into these frequencies. Some have shamanistic experience, others just were coming from very connected tribes. And you are able to bring this energy back in this lifetime to humanity and to seed that in the collective consciousness of your current time space, which in simpler words just means in your current time. You came to Earth right now, and one of the things that you are able to do is to connect deeper again with her soul, with her plants, with her animals, with the sky, the sea, the elements that are present here, and to allow that wisdom to be once again seeded. It is a remembering of some sort. If you are serious about taking on this role, we would highly recommend to go on a journey and step into this energy, and at the same time to look at the experience you already have had. Because there is a high chance that your ancient wisdom can be blended very well with the current skills that you hold and you have developed over the years. And you will be able to find combinations with that to serve humanity. And in this way, you seed it back again into the consciousness of the planet. So if you have been receiving your earth seed and you are feeling the calling to remember your ancient wisdom that has been left here or from ancestors or from previous lifetimes, we highly recommend you to dive into that journey, into that exploration, to recollect and remember the powers that you have been already seeding in previous lifetimes, and to receive them back into your current lifetime, to be of brilliant service to humankind. Thank you for this wonderfully curious question, dear one. Wow. I love that. And now I know a little bit more what it is. I definitely know a couple. And I think I know a couple of earth seeds. That's wonderful. Kika Miller, thank you for that question. That's so wonderful. So did it make any sense, Kika Miller? Was it resonant with what you already know? And I'm really curious. All right. Emma has another question, and I'm curious here if there's anybody here that has a question, but please fire away also in the chat. Emma, I'm so good to see you. I already saw in the Akashic Record School that you plan to join. It's so nice to see you. What will my life look like until the end of the year? If it's possible to know this, work, education, private life, finances. All right, that's a very personal question. I don't have permission to open records of people in the chat in these Q&As. I highly recommend if you want to join the Sacred Alignment Academy to come here, because then I can open your personal records, and we do this every week. A lot of times not streaming to YouTube. But what I can do now, if I have your permission, is to just scan into, like intuitively scan into your life and let my Akashic records do a reading based on what I'm able to receive intuitively. So if that's okay, then let me know in the chat or give me a personal message on school, and we can I can do some intuitive channeling for you. It might not come from your straight from your records, but you are already in the Akashic Record School, so it will be very soon for you to be able to ask these questions like I'm doing here. So that's gonna be wonderful. Um, so let me know, Emma, if I have permission to do a little reading on that. It's more an intuitive reading. All right. So yeah, it's interesting how this works. Also because a couple of years ago, like this was so new to me, and I was not able to do this. Um, I was not able to do any of this. I realized I was able to do all of this, but it needs to be part of it needs to be part of your reality. And if this stuff is not part of your reality, it seems to be outside of you. But as you step into this, it's actually all inside, and we all have intuitive abilities. We all have the ability to open our records. We all have the ability to channel higher dimensions, connect with angels, all kinds of stuff. And we were doing a session last Tuesday on identity, and actually having the identity of owning that I'm a channeler, right? Like that was not part of my reality, but actually not even knowing that I can, but actually owning it took quite a long time. And I think it's really nice to play with identity. We did a whole session on it on Tuesday about like how can we really play with identity to such a way that we really own what is reflected back to us. So sometimes we receive very high things, like for example this earth seed, what we just experienced. If you know you're an earth seed, that's quite a beautiful thing, but that's also quite an awesome task. It might still be feeling a little bit outside of you to actually go and remember your past lives and recollect that power and start using that power, but actually it's already inside of you, and it has to do with, are you seeing yourself as a person that can do that or not? Are you seeing yourself capable of it? And it's so nice to play with you seeing yourself being capable of things, and just extending and expanding that. For me, it's the channeling part and the records part, and to just be knowing, like, yeah, first, when they said you need to become a teacher, I was like, no way. No way. I feel like a kid in a candy store. I don't feel like a teacher at all. But now after a lot of pushing, and I'm very grateful I stepped into that role and that identity. So I got permission from Emma to scan her energy field and to ask the questions. All right. Yes. Okay. The question of Emma is, what will a life look like until the end of the year? And if it's possible to know this, work, education, private life, finances, etc. So please tune in to the energy of Emma, specifically, of course, the Emma that's now talking to me and that's in the Akashic Record School and that I know from school. And tune into her energy field, and everything that I'm allowed to share, please let it flow through. The first thing that I feel is A little bit of energy here on top of my shoulders, around my neck here. All right. All right. Can you do a reading of this energy? Yes. Dear one, you have done quite some beautiful work and crossed some very important barriers of limitation in your life. And your year can go in many ways. We are not fortune tellers, but what we can tell you is what we see right now that is of the highest importance if you want to have your year progress in absolutely the most beautiful and lightest ways, with an increase of quality in the areas that you requested, a beautiful increase in finances, a beautiful increase in private life, in connection, in all that you would love to increase and expand in. We can tell you right now what is the energy that would be most lovely to look at, so that you can, in your own time, process some of these energies, transmute them, and become free of what is currently limiting you. At the moment we're showing this channel an interesting energy in the lower belly on the left side. And we're showing some energy around the throat area on top of the shoulders. Those are two different areas of your life that we want to give a closer look at. First, the one in the belly on the left side represents your creative feminine essence. Your creative feminine essence is currently blocked in the forward direction, which means, are you allowing yourself to fully express your feminine power? You are very genius in many ways. And there is a beautiful combination of both the beautiful logic and mental and masculine energy present, and an incredibly powerful and deep feminine essence present. But the logical and mental side is more able to express itself than the deep feminine side. And your deep feminine essence is asking you to slowly but surely breathe deeply into the belly and allow that more raw power to come out of you. It's at the moment not fully feeling safe to do so. And it can require some deep internal conversation with your energy. This energy can especially be felt and found in the womb space. So what you can do here is to truly lay your hand on your belly, bring your consciousness to the womb, and start a conversation with the womb. Ask it what it needs. Ask it how her creativity wants to be expressed and how you can assist. these questions will give different perspectives and feelings and answers that will come up. And the more you will work with these answers, the more your true feminine creativity will come online and move outward into the world. This is very needed. This is partly because the masculine power is at the moment not so powerful. What we mean with that is that it had a great couple of millennia of power, but at the moment the feminine energy is way more powerful, and it's the feminine where actually most money is flowing into right now if you look at the energetic currency of the world. And there is a shift internally, both in men and women, to embody their feminine in deeper ways. This energy requires you to gently have a nice conversation, a warm and loving conversation with your womb space, and invite it to talk, to let it express to you, and to help it let it be expressed. This will be a powerful exercise. And it will be especially powerful if you experience belly cramps or pains. Know that some of these are not physical and should not be numbed. They are energy that wants to be seen and is asking for your attention. If you can create the personal me time to be with yourself like this, or if you have a great partner or person in your field that can hold space for you while you go deep into yourself like this, you will see the raw power we are pointing you to. The other aspect that we see that will bring a huge and great expansion to your life into the coming year is the energy that is currently being portrayed in this channel around the shoulders and the throat. Now, what does this mean? The shoulders are carriers. The throat is your expression. You're able to express, and you're doing so in many ways. But it is only a fraction of the true you. It's playing it safe. At the same time, you have been carrying a lot of weight on your shoulders. This is interrelated. The pressure on your shoulders creates less safety to express yourself fully. And the less you express yourself fully, the more pressure you seem to be put on yourself. Now, here's the first thing we love to say to you. You do not have to carry any of the pressure that you have put on your own shoulders. The divine is here to carry it for you. You can state clearly, Divinity, can you relieve me from the pressure I put on myself? Can you relieve me from the pressure I put on myself? And you will start feeling already a lightening of your energy field very soon. Now, the more lighter you feel, and the less you have the feeling you need to perform or you need to achieve, the more your true, natural, flowing self comes through. And as soon as that happens, a lot of humans will look at you and truly notice your genius. And it is the genius in you that will be the most greatly rewarded and will receive the most blessings onto this year. So it's not your job to be the genius you already are. It is your job to clear the energy field so that the genius can come through. And at the moment, it has been blocked by the pressure you have put on yourself. So by allowing this to relieve, and you already did a great job in doing so as you listen to this answer, feel free to continue, ask for relief. And you can visualize and imagine that all of the weight of your shoulder is just being carried away by beautiful light beings out into the ether. You do not have to care for that. Life will take care of you. As soon as that happens, your natural self will be stabilized. Your throat will start to open again. And you will see that you start to share more as you used to share more in earlier periods of your life. By you creating the right environment for your genius and your creativity to come true, you will have a very beautiful rest of your year. You can truly be yourself, and an environment where you do not feel you have to perform and you are in connection with your deep feminine flow will hold the keys that you have been seeking. We hope this made any sense to you, and know that we are always of assistance and we can help you personally. You have access to the same connection that this channel is currently streaming from. We hope this helps, dear. Thank you. And we wish you a beautiful, great inner journey based on the energy that we just pointed you to. It will truly be a huge expansion if you let these energies that now have been a little bit feeling unsafe and been pushed away, to let them come back and to embody them fully. It's going to be a great journey, not only for you and the way you will feel free, but also for the people that will witness you, because your genius is very obvious and people would love then to collaborate with you, work with you, be in your field in whatever way possible. And that will hold all of the opportunities that will increase both your private and professional life. Thank you for your question, and thank you for giving us permission to do this reading. Wow. All right. I hope that made sense, dear Emma. And feel free to, send me a personal message on school if you wanna ask deeper questions, or if I can be of any other service to you and the rest of your year. Yeah, I'm very happy to help. I'm here to be of service. So curious if that made any sense. So we are actually, I want to say something, because this is a little bit unrelated to what just happened, but we started the certification course, and I'm now teaching people how to do readings for others. And in the first practice session, some people already reflected like, yeah, things come true, but I have no clue if it makes any sense or if it resonates. And um, that is a little bit of the feeling that I have with all of the questions that are being shared. And some people don't realize that actually words come out, but I have no clue if things resonate. And I need to be okay with that level of being in the unknown. I have to be just completely okay, like, okay, stuff comes through. In this case it was energy about the womb and about the shoulders, and like it seems to make sense somehow, but I have no clue if it's pointing to in any way in resonance to her life. So it's very interesting to be a reader or a channeler, and now I'm very grateful to actually guide other people into that, and and actually let them experience also this very interesting feeling. Um, so Emma says, thank you so much for this. This is something I've struggled with my whole life. So I guess it's time to change things. Whoa, it made a lot of sense. Thank you. I will. So happy for that, dear. Yeah, it might be the perfect time to change this, especially if you want to have a beautiful rest of your year. Take some time and look at the things you have struggled with your whole life, because there is an Emma available to you. There is a version of Emma that wants to come true, that is free from the thing that you have struggled with your whole life. So I'm looking forward to do that. And like I said, if you need any space holder help or any more channeling or personal guidance or help with connecting to the records for yourself, send me a personal message on school. I would love to. I would love to be of assistance where I can. Amazing. Thank you for reflecting. So I see here there is a question of Maggie in the room. Dear Maggie, how are you, dear? Uh, I think I was staring at you too. Yeah, you were one of the people that's like, oh, I know an earth seed. Maggie is one, definitely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't like to point fingers, but mm, oh wow. Mm, beautiful. So um, the hidden energy of not forgiving people. That's what you're asking about, right? That's beautiful. And do I have your permission to open your personal records? Beautiful. Thank you. Um, so I still connected with the records of humankind, so let me close them first. So the light, I hereby close and lock the Akashic records of humankind. With love and light, I hereby open the Akashic records. Wow. Mm. The records of Maggie. How is Maggie doing with the hidden energy of not being able to forgive people? Can you shine a light on that? And yeah, anything that might help her in this will be greatly welcome. So Mm. Dear one, this is an absolutely beautiful question, and we are beyond grateful that you are opening this topic. Most people do not open this topic because, first of all, it's hidden to them, which is a hard thing to see. And next to that, you are able to look specifically at the energy that finds it very hard to forgive people. And it is good to acknowledge and admit that that energy is there. It's not always as easy as it sounds when people talk about forgiveness, at least not on the human plane. There are some things that seems to hold that back. Now, let us give you a little bit of an energy scan about how you are doing, because you did quite a lot of work already. And some people that you would believe that would be never forgiven, you already have forgiven. So you already have a couple of beautiful people and souls in your field that you were able to move from a perspective of resentment to a perspective of acceptance and love. And it's truly the journey of going from resentment to love. That's the forgiveness path. Another way to look at it is the journey from separation to unification, of unity. So it is the people you feel most separated of that you most of the time have the most resentment, really feel separate. As if they're completely different worlds, different energy. And you almost have the feeling like that's never gonna blend. Like oil and water. It will always find a way to be separate, even though they're in the same cup. It is that energy that we can look at. And with this perspective of separation and unification, it becomes a little bit easier to see. Now, if you then ask your mind the reason why this person feels so separate, or if you ask your mind, can we unify with this energy? It will start to come up with a lot of reasons why that person is not deserving or meant to be unified with your energy, or you are not meant to blend with their energy because you might feel that it will hurt your energy. You will notice the reason why the mind wants to separate. Now, this is a beautiful thing to witness, because once you know the reason why the mind wants separation, you have the key to the lesson you need to learn from this person. As soon as you know the reason why the mind does not want to blend and does not want to unify with that energy, whatever the energy is, you will have the key towards your growth. And this is true for everything. Some, especially in the country where you are, don't want to blend with the president right now. They're not seeing any resonance. The president is very polarizing. Very weird energy for most people. So there is separation. And they feel separation and they feel resentment, and it's hard to forgive. Now, This, of course, also happens with personal relationships, and you know exactly which one we point to at. You know the ones that have a very hard time. They have characteristics that simply you don't want to have in your life. They have energies and they bring energy that you simply don't want to have in your life. Now, once you know why you don't want to have them in your life, you know exactly what you need to work on. Forgiveness, therefore, is not just saying, I forgive you, because if the resentment is still there and the mind is not in a state that it wants to unify, it will not work. Yes, the words might have a slight effect, but it is the energy that needs to change. And if the energy doesn't feel it wants to be united with frequencies that simply are so undesired, you will have a very hard time. And it's not meant to be pushed or forced either. It's meant to be looked upon and to see very clearly where in your energy you really do not want this. Now, what happens if you find these things, these reasons for being separate and choosing separation over unification? Once you have the reason, and it might be logically very good reasons, once you have the reason, you know the qualities that you need to look into yourself, and you need yourself to forgive these qualities about yourself. It is not about the other person. Truly, all of these forgiveness things are just little projections of these persons in your mind. Most of them are not in the room. Some of them are, but most of them, when you think about it, especially the moment you think about it, are not truly in your room. Therefore, they are mental projections in your mind. These mental projections create separation, and they reflect to you the qualities of your being that you still not have integrated. That's why forgiveness is one of the best tools for unification of your own being, not of anybody else's. Let us give you an example. You know a couple persons that complain a lot. They complain a lot. They never seem to be happy. And that energy seems to drag you down. Of course, you don't want to be with complainers. Why would you love to forgive complainers? Why would you love to unify with complainers? They need to shift their behavior, you might think. Now let's look a little bit closer to it and feel that energy of complaint. And when you feel that energy of complaint, you will notice that also that energy is part of your field. You also have complaints. You were just complaining about the people that are complaining. That's a joke, that was us, but you get the point. To see that you also carry the same energy as they carry, and to know that you can forgive your own complaint and feel this inside of you and say, hey, dear me, it is okay that you have been complaining. And I'm so happy we don't complain anymore. I'm so happy we're now in a state of gratitude, but I see inside of myself that I also complain and have complained in the past, and I forgive myself for this behavior. It's okay. It's good. You take a big deep breath after you say that, And you will notice, you will recognize a little bit more of yourself into the person that was first being met with resentment, because their quality actually also was found in you. And because you found it in yourself and were forgiving it, you now are able to also have an easier time forgiving the other. And you see actually that they are a reflection of you. And therefore, the separation can turn into unification. But without this middle step, it's going to be very hard. We hope this made sense, because we do not have permission to go into complete details here of the nature of the current meeting you find yourself in. We had to keep it a little bit general. But we know that you know, and we see inside of you that you received this message, and you understand very well the work and the journey that forgiveness can bring, and the unity that it can create. Thank you for your question. Are there any follow-up questions? How did it shine a light? Did you see things that were hidden and are now not hidden anymore? Do you? Yeah. Wow. It's very interesting, because I think I'm gonna close your records, because they create a lot of heat today. I don't know if your records, no, I know they're not always this warm, but there's a lot of heat coming from, like, as soon as I opened them, it was like vroom, like as if my room just became 5 degrees warmer in Celsius. I don't know. That's probably 10 degrees in Fahrenheit warmer. So I'm gonna close them, but I want to share a story that happened literally this morning. Thank you. Whoa. Okay, cool down, system, cool down. I don't see any more questions in the chat, so YouTube, feel free to put some questions in the chat. So I this morning, I had I was meditating in the forest, and I had this energy. I was actually I was just meditating. It was quite easy. And then I was thinking of, I filmed our Christmas celebration last year with a 360 camera. But it's quite a task to edit 360 footage. So I have this footage of the Christmas celebration, but I never shared it because it's just like a lot of big files, and it's hard to play, and I need to kind of find a structure that it's able to be shared. And my stepmom is, in my head, I heard my stepmom saying like, when are you gonna make this video? I want to have this video. And she was kind of a little bit nudging, like, in my head, right? She's not really nudging. She's only in my head nudging. And I was like, shut up, move out of my head. I want to meditate. And then, and then I was like, okay, let me go a little bit deeper in her. And then I just was with that energy, and I saw like, okay, that's not I don't want to shush her away and be angry at her, but you know, the energy that she embodies has been always, since the beginning of that she is in my life, has been clashing with how I stand in life. The only thing that we actually have in common is that she introduced me to the spiritual world and to the chakras, while I was very critical at the time. So we have the spiritual part in common. That's good. But she is a lot of time complaining, and I don't want to talk bad about her. But at least her qualities and my qualities, we don't see eye to eye. And while I was in that process, in that meditation, I was actually seeing how valuable it is to have somebody in my life that shows the opposite of where I need to go to. So, like, even though she is her and she needs to do what she needs to do, but for me to see so clearly a clash actually shows me, okay, she's complaining a lot. I don't like that energy, so let me be grateful a lot. You know, she's not happy while she lives in an amazing house and literally has everything for her. Let me be happy for everything that I have. And I saw myself in my head, instead of seeing her as my nagging stepmom, seeing her as my greatest teacher. And then I saw myself thanking her, like, thank you for being you, because I learned so much from your behavior. And I started seeing me supporting her family financially, and just saying things like, I don't know if this will ever happen, but I saw like future happenings, kind of as if I was 10-20 years in the future, and I was sending her love and wishing her my greatest teachings, and giving her family some financial support. And I was seeing myself doing these things. And then a huge energy came all the way. It felt like it came from my hip, started shaking my whole body, started shaking everything in my whole body for a couple minutes, and then it left. And I felt a lot lighter after it. So I went from saying shut up to a thought about my stepmom to actually, in that meditation, seeing her as my greatest teacher. And it was not easy. And I really asked for help a lot. Can you show me a loving perspective? Dear God, can you show me a loving perspective? It's hard. It has been hard. Since I'm 8 years old, I have not been able to find it. But can you show me? And it started to show me, and it started to understand I started to understand all of this in a better way. And I felt a lot of forgiveness. I'm actually looking forward to see her now. I never looked forward. That's a shift that I feel since that meditation. I would love to have some great conversations with her. I never had that feeling in my life. So there's definitely some shift happening, right? So yeah, very, very beautiful. So yeah, that's just this somehow ties into the answer that was just received in a way. It was different. It was somehow different. It came up very unexpectedly. I didn't have a conscious intention, so to let me heal the relationship with my stepmom, but yeah, it just started to come, and luckily I was in a meditation while it happened, so that I could bring enough presence to it, right? Yeah, so that's a little personal. Yeah. Yeah, very fresh. It literally a couple hours ago that it happened. So, um, yeah, thank you too. And I also want to thank everybody in the. I want to thank everybody in the YouTube chat too. I promised Octavia that's here in the Sacred Alignment Academy to. She has a question, but it's personal, and it's not meant to be streamed, and I respect that. So I think I will go. Thank you for watching me on YouTube. If you want to learn to access the records where all these answers came from, school.com/akasha. You can find me there. It's currently still free. Up to the 200 member mark, it's going to be free. After that, it's going to be paid. So take your chance if you see this and you want to connect to the records to go in now. And yeah, I'm gonna with if you want to be live in these personal sessions and you really want to live the lifestyle of connecting with spirit and with the Akashic records among a lot of other energies and truly become very prosperous in doing so, that's the Sacred Alignment Academy, and we do Q&As every week, a lot of times just for us, and sometimes we open up to YouTube like this. So that's school.com/sacred. So school.com/akasha for the free one, and school.com/sacred. I love to do these things. I hope to do a lot more soon. I definitely have a lot more videos planned, so I'm ready to share a lot more on YouTube as well. Yeah, it's a wonderful, magical world we live in, and it's time to truly show that. All of these things that are possible. So we're so much more interconnected than we realize, and then I realize. And the more I learn about it, the more magical life becomes. And yeah, love to be on this journey with you. So thank you. I love you. Thank you, YouTube. And I hope to see you very soon. Bye bye.